Yeah, thank you, Stevie.
Yeah. Looking back to 5 years ago, what has changed, or how are you different from when you first started the program?
So, you should have my wife and kids here probably, right? If I look back over 5 years, our business is more than double the size, probably closer to 2.5 times the size, and income has four times just in those 5 years. Because one of the things that immediately happened, right, with the Entrepreneurial Time System was somebody said to me, if you want to double your income, you have to take twice the time off.
So I have 2 questions here for
Yeah.
you. First, can you briefly explain what the Entrepreneurial Time System is for those who don't know what it is? And then I'm also curious to know what the impact of that has been on your personal relationships with your wife and your kids and things like that.
So when I talk about the Entrepreneurial Time System, I talk about energy because it's the use of your personal energy in order to maximize the benefit of each day. So, as in coach, you learn to talk about free days, and free days turns out the hardest day to have, right? Because they're the ones where you truly are not engaged in business 24 hours, right? No work emails, no business reading, no nothing. You are fully engaged in relaxation, having fun, and in order to have a free day, you then have to have a focus day. It's doing what you do naturally and do best, which is make money within your business. And I know that traditionally, in those kind of days in the past, I would have had, client meetings during those days, but I also would have been taking care of, so I would say, office maintenance. And they're very, very different energy. I wasn't always going in with my best. And so dividing up the Entrepreneurial Time System, energy from free days, and then focus days, which is just for us, purely client driven, and it's a high energy. That's not a hard day to have, because that's your fun day. It's what you do best with your clients. But then you need a day to prepare, which is what they call the buffer day. And I've always likened it to a sports analogy. The football players in the NFL, they only play 1 game a week, but they practiced 5 days a week, right? So buffer days are the practice day, right? Then you got the game day, but they also have to rest their bodies. So it's exactly the same energy. So this year, our business results are about 28% above last year. So every year has been a record year, right? Which is phenomenal. And I will end the year with 184 free days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I know. I'm good at them now.
Yeah. What are you doing with those free days?
I almost could divide life like pre-coach, post-coach, right? Before with coach, before I started, my free days were, I would be distracted. I'd be thinking about what's coming up maybe on Monday or Tuesday or what's going to happen through the week. And so I maybe wasn't as interactive with my family as I should have been, particularly my spouse, because that's always the closest, but also with my kids. I have 4 kids. And today it's as tight a unit as I could ever possibly imagine. My spouse really understands the value of the free days. So we really have an amazing relationship where she really gets the Entrepreneurial Time System. Like, she gets it because she's seen the results of it. She sees it around the family, the kids see it. One of the things that I did right away too is right at the very beginning, I got rid of my emails. I delegated emails. I literally don't get emails. So what I did find was on free days, it was easy to just go to your phone or easy to look at an email, right? I actually physically don't get them. So that makes it pretty easy. There's literally nothing I can do.
That is so awesome. And
Other
it's
than
kind
have
of
fun.
like making that small change or adjustment makes a huge difference in your overall productivity and your energy. And
Huge. Yeah.
Wow, good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, thank you.
So what would your advice be to other entrepreneurs? Maybe they're just starting out in strategic coach and they're like, okay, strategic coach wants me to take off all this vacation. I can't do it. There's no way I cannot check my email like Rod is explaining. There's just no way. What would you say to them?
Yeah, it's amazing how I think as entrepreneurs we really have an over-exaggerated sense of importance, right? You have to lead versus manage, and many of us get stuck managing. And so, but yet as an entrepreneur, you are the vision, right? And so if you don't have time to live through the vision, how does the practice ever evolve? How does business ever evolve? And some people, I think, come to that naturally. I think that many people who are very successful entrepreneurs very young, they just intuitively have done that. But the vast majority find a limit. And being an entrepreneur is not about limits. It's about dreaming. And in order to dream, you do have to have some structure, and that's what Strategic Coach does. It gives you all of the freedom you want and as much as you want. It's life-changing. That's the truth.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So Dan Sullivan, the creator of the Strategic Coach program, has identified a bunch of tools to be our kind of like the foundation of Strategic Coach. The Entrepreneurial Time System is one of the key concepts, and his thinking around that is once you've not mastered, but once you've really spent time on getting those foundational tools integrated into your life and your business, you're eventually going to reach a point in your entrepreneurial career where you're going to be so unique that you don't really have competition. So what are your thoughts around having, it seems like you've mastered the time system. What are your thoughts on having that as your strong foundation to then get to a place where you don't really have to worry about much. You just get to keep doing the stuff that you love to do.
Some amazing things have happened during this journey. One of them is with the company that I have. Most of the things that I have created as far as what I would call value delivery systems are being emulated by the company and being rolled out nationally. So, you know, I think Dan said probably one of the greatest compliments you'll ever get is, you know, somebody who is copying you, right? Right? It really is, you know, and I would say before I probably would have felt a scarcity mindset around that, where in fact this is not the case at all, because actually what they are doing, because I'm involved in it, is actually bigger and better than what I would have done. So I'm still going to win, right?
Right.
But what they can't change is my creativity.